Hello, everybody, and welcome back to More Than a Muse. I'm Stauney.
And I'm Sadie. Happy Monday after the Life of the Showgirl release. This is our episode to discuss, because there's always so much to discuss when there's a Taylor
Yes.
Swift album, but especially this time when our entire last month of September was content inspired by the build up to this album. We've been talking about it a lot on this podcast. And
Mm-hmm.
so we kind of get to do our victory lap, talk about the album, talk about some of the things we got right, some of the things we got wrong.
I'm very excited. And both of
Mhm.
us just got back from watching the movie that went
Yes.
in theaters, the official release party. So we also are going to talk about that. So there will be spoilers for the album if
True.
that's something that you're trying to keep secret for some reason after this
Well,
week.
true. But I guess at this point, Monday, I don't think it's even in theaters anymore. So
Yeah.
we've got it
So,
covered there.
yep.
Do we want to start on our first initial thoughts, or do we want to talk about where we are now? I think we've both had different journeys with this
It
album.
has been an emotional roller coaster over these past 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're unclear, this is Life of a Showgirl, Taylor Swift's
True.
12th studio album. Obviously, the internet is ablaze with everyone talking about it, so I'm sure it's
Lots
been
of
a little
thoughts.
bit inescapable. How did you feel, Sadie, when you first started listening?
Okay. I want to say track one, I was like, we're back. I'm obsessed. I think Fate of Ophelia is still my favorite.
Yeah.
Track two, Elizabeth Taylor. That's my favorite. Instantly, I was sat for that. Opalite was fun. I loved Father Figure. And then track five hit for me. And I was like, ooh, this isn't hitting as much as I thought it would. It's very nice. It's very pretty. And I think as this album continued, I wasn't immediately in love in the way that I often am with a Taylor Swift album. And I will say that, like, musically and sonically, I really liked the choices that she was making. It was all objectively very beautiful, very fun to listen to. But something about some of the songs, I was like, ooh, I don't know what's happening here. And I think I walked away from my first listen being like, I really like half of it.
Yeah.
But other six songs, I don't even know. I don't know yet. So that's my initial first impression of it. There were certain things I loved and other ones, I don't know. But the first four tracks, I think the front half of the album is pretty solid.
Yep. I think I felt exactly the same. Not to be repetitive.
Totally.
But
That's okay.
literally, yeah, like I think my expectations were set really high from the first three songs, and then it almost kind of felt like a little bit of a letdown, getting kind of two slower, sadder songs, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the album. So I also think this isn't his fault, but Travis Kelce saying banger after banger, 12 bangers, set me up for like, oh, we are literally getting like a pop single for every single track on this album.
Totally.
And that's not what it was. And that it's not a bad thing. It just
I agree.
wasn't the expectation that I think was set up. So it threw me for a bit.
I think I went in thinking it would be a little bit more of an obvious concept album playing on the life of the showgirl or the life behind the scenes of this pop star, which is Taylor Swift on the biggest tour of her life, the biggest tour of anyone's life ever.
Yeah.
And I feel like it wasn't as much of that. The music was pretty like dramatic in that for those first couple of songs in the way I thought. But yeah, I agree. I think that expectation of it's 1989 2.0, it's banger after banger, like this is the storytelling of folklore mixed with 1989. I don't necessarily think I don't think it was that. And I think the way that they described it was a little bit off. It was correct that, okay, this was her life while she was on the Eras tour on the half after Torture Poets department, but I think I was hoping it was going to be more of a concept album. And I think maybe there was a little bit of a disconnect with the visuals that she was giving for the album covers and the album promo versus what the music actually sounded like. Funny enough, I almost feel like Midnight's, in a way, the Midnight's photo shoot almost fit the aesthetics of this album sonically more. You know what I mean? There was maybe a little bit of a mixed match that I think maybe, set up my expectations a little bit weird.
I know, it's interesting. I think maybe she wrote the song The Life of a Showgirl and just really fell in love with the title and kind of ran with that for the album.
And it's a great title.
It is. And the way they tied it in, we'll get to it, to the music video and everything. I'm like, okay, like I get where she's going with, but yeah, it wasn't exactly an immediate hit
Yeah.
from what I thought it was gonna be.
It was like, oh, cool, this is like another good Taylor Swift pop album, which is great.
Yeah.
I love a good Taylor Swift pop album. But yeah, I thought it would be a little bit different than what it was.
I also thought that I Can Do It With a Broken Heart was maybe like a little bit of a precursor into what would
Mm,
get, and then it
interesting.
wasn't really either that. So it was very different from what I expected.
Totally. I think
Mm,
too the initial reaction from what I've been seeing online is that people aren't, I'm not saying a lot of people like loving it. I feel like people who are obsessed with the album are the outliers from what I'm seeing. And so that's been interesting to see. One thing I will say though is the amount of people who are like being like, this is the same woman who wrote this, and they use a Tortured Poets Department song or a Midnight song. And I'm like, you hated those albums
yeah.
when they first come out. And everyone hated Reputation when it first came
Hmm.
out. And now that's the album that we're actually sad that we don't have the vault tracks for. Like, I think that like we have to acknowledge the fact that when Reputation
Yeah.
was announced, that was cringe in the moment and now it's iconic. So I think that is something that is unique about Taylor Swift albums is they do almost get better with time in the sense that I think that when you're listening to a Taylor Swift album, the things that stick out to you are the jarring like internet slang, like the weird things that do feel like a mismatch because that's something that Taylor Swift has always done, even on Evermore with Willow, the most beautiful song maybe in her entire catalog, and she couldn't help herself in the bridge. She says, I come back stronger than a 90s trend. Like she can't
Hmm.
help herself. I say that affectionately. And so those are always the thing that stick out first listen.
Yeah.
But then when the album actually simmers, you can actually you go through and you read the lyrics and you realize, oh wait, there's actually a lot of beautiful imagery here. There's actually a little bit more depth. And it almost drives me crazy that I feel like she sells herself short by putting lyrics in her songs. Did you girl boss too close to the sun? And things
Yeah.
like that. And I'm like, what?
But
It could have been better. I don't know. What
they
are your thoughts on
do,
that?
yeah, it's so Taylor Swift that I
Yes,
almost would
that's true.
feel wrong if it wasn't there in a way. And I don't know, like it becomes such iconic sayings later that we use for
Yeah.
things, and like it starts its own trends. So I think in a way she can do no wrong in that regard. But you're right that it does, like it
I
feels a little jarring.
I think it works more effectively when she's starting it. Like, for example, like with Blank Space, I can make the bad guys good for a weekend, or even like with Look
Mm-hmm.
What You Made Me Do, the old Taylor, she's dead. Like, they're both cheeky, but she came up with them first.
Yeah,
Whereas I feel like some of these lyrics that are in that same like genre of Taylor Swift lyric on this album are things that she's taking from someone else, or
that's
which is just
fair.
like internet slang. So I think it
Yeah,
works. The campiness works when it's original, not so much when I'm like, girl, get off TikTok. Like,
that's
I
so
don't
fair.
know.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
But it has been 24 hours since the album has come out. So after your first initial listen, where are you at now? And after seeing the
Um,
movie?
yeah, it's hard. I don't think this is gonna rank above a lot of other albums for me, if that makes
Okay.
sense. I do love it more than I initially did. And I like my parents even texted me and they were like, we listened to the whole thing. It was great. Two thumbs up from us. And then I was like, approachable pop. That's what she was going for. I think
It
she
does
hit it
seem
in the
that's what
head.
she wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like she got that. And I was a little bit surprised with how mid-tempo it was. Like me and Mo ended up talking, we were expecting a little bit like higher tempo, and none
Mm-hmm.
of the songs were like soft and slow necessarily, but they weren't
Totally.
really like fast either. It was like interesting that they all had that same tempo to them that was like not fast or slow, just like a very,
Yeah, true.
I don't know. I think it's so hard because I think I like it more than I initially did. I think a lot of it is way more upbeat than I initially thought it was listening. And I think that there will be standouts that'll grow on me from the second half, but I
Mm-hmm.
still think that the first five songs are the strongest.
Totally. The first half of this album. I think that 3-track run of Fate of Ophelia to Elizabeth Taylor to Opalite, I think that might be her best three opening tracks on an album in
Yeah.
sequence. Like they're great.
They're so good.
Great.
And I find myself going back to them
I just want to
every
listen to
time.
those 3 songs,
Yes.
actually.
And I'm totally fine with repeating those 3 songs
Yeah,
over and over and
me
over
too. And
again.
then sometimes we'll add Father Figure because that's also,
Yeah.
I was actually pretty happy with that one. I thought that was a fun
Yeah,
concept. I
same.
think she did great with it.
Mhm.
But
And I liked Eldest Daughter. It wasn't as gut-wrenching as I thought it would be, but I did.
I think that the expectation of having a track 5 called Eldest Daughter set me up a little bit. I loved the message of it. I
Yeah.
loved the melody. I loved how it sounded. Again, like the internet slang, it took me out of but I feel like maybe that was intentional with what she was doing. Even if it was intentional, it didn't
Mhm.
resonate. So
Definitely. So yeah, we've talked about the first 5. Ruin the Friendship. That one threw me for a loop.
Ruin the Friendship was an interesting song, a beautiful song, a beautiful message. I am surprised that it is a topic she's still discussing on
Yeah.
album 12. And not to say that it's not a topic that should be discussed. I want to be very delicate with the subject matter because she's talking about an old high school friend who passed away and like her regrets of, wow, I never took the risk. I never told him I had feelings for him. You'll always wonder what could have been. And I think it's like a really cool concept of always ruin the friendship. It's better to ask, it's better to try than to like always wonder because you never know what could happen. And I think that's like a beautiful message. It was weird to hear that, like track 6 in
Yeah.
this huge pop album called Life of a Showgirl.
It threw me off. I was like, "Wait, huh? Like,
Yeah.
how does this fit on this album? I don't quite understand how that fits in with the rest of everything I'm listening to." It felt a little jarring. It's a beautiful song, just
It's a
in the
beautiful
context,
song.
yeah, of the
Mm-hmm.
whole album. It just didn't feel like it fit.
I agree. How do we feel about the Charlie XCX diss track?
Is it though? I'm so sad.
Yeah,
It
that is a
probably
Charlie
is.
XCX diss track for
Yeah.
sure.
It's so bummer. I hate
I
diss
don't like it
tracks.
when the pop girls fight.
I don't either. I'm like, just get along. We all love all of you. Can you just all love
True.
each other too?
Yeah. I think it's a fun song. It's fine.
It's fine. I think it's fun. I wish it wasn't about another woman. I wish it was
That's
about an
fair.
ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
valid.
I think
Oh,
I would like it more, but it's fun. It's campy and kitschy and
what can you
cute.
expect but being kitschy on a Taylor Swift album? I will say it doesn't really give unbothered if you're writing a song about it. And I don't think the song acknowledges that, like self-aware about that. To Taylor Swift's credit though, I'm seeing people discuss the fact that, oh, but Sympathy is a Knife is a nice song, or it's about Charlie's own insecurities. It's not about Taylor Swift. And I think that's a valid take, but another side I've seen is, yeah, but what we forget is that these people actually know each other and
Hmm.
interact with one another. And if you are hearing that this girl that you invited on one of your stadium tours that you thought you had a very close relationship with releases that song and you're like, okay, maybe they acknowledged it privately, maybe they didn't. And then after you hear that she's calling you a basic Barbie and is like being mean and cheers when you and your ex break up, you're like, oh, you're not my friend. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that I feel like in Taylor's defense, I don't think she's out of line for being offended and also being like, I don't like you then. I
No, it
don't think
makes
it's a
sense.
completely unprovoked response, but unfortunately, when Taylor Swift is the biggest pop star, she's going to just be punching down at this point, and that will
Yeah,
always feel a little bit weird, I think.
I agree. I think it always feels a little off. I wish that the internet never figured it out and we could just
Yeah,
enjoy the song as it was and it not
totally.
be a diss track, because I think I actually would enjoy the song a whole lot more if that were the
Totally.
case.
I agree.
It's very catchy. Like, I love the beat on it.
Yeah, one thing I will say is I am so happy that we have guitars, bass lines, and drums back in the
Mhm.
Taylor Swift universe. I missed them. I'm really
Yeah.
glad for an electric guitar forward riff that welcome back real
Yes.
instruments. I'm
No,
happy
the
you're
music
here.
production on all of these were honestly phenomenal. No notes on
No
that
notes.
at
Great
all.
job, team. Great
Yeah.
work.
They did great. How do you feel about Wishlist?
Okay, this is in my top 4 actually.
Oh, good.
I don't know. This might be actually my third favorite. I think I might like it more than Opalite. On
Okay.
the initial listen, this was like the one from the last half that I was like, wait, oh, I love this song. I think it's very
Okay.
catchy. I've heard people have pointed out it's very reminiscent of her song Glitch. I can hear
Mhm.
it. But I actually loved this song. I think it's actually a really cool, unique take on it of just some people want this, some people want this. And I hope they get it. Like, I feel that genuineness of I hope
Mhm.
everyone gets what they want. but I actually like I want you. And I think the way she sings it is so beautiful. This morning I was listening and it like literally made me weep. I don't know where that came from. It's like one of those times
Yeah.
when the songs just like emotionally like just break you and you're like, oh,
Mhm.
this is tender. I think it's actually fun that she put the dollar signs in
Yeah.
the thing. Like, what a red herring there on what
Mhm.
that song would be about. So I thought it was sweet. There's a part of me that's like, all right, well, improve it, Taylor Swift. Like, that's all you want? No, you like being a pop star. That's okay. But that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we got to
I
take it too
think
literally.
that one was really fun in comparison to Life of a Showgirl at the end too, where
Yes,
she says, "I'm married to the hustle. I'll always be
I love
living the
this.
life of a showgirl." Fun words. Yeah, that's on her wish list, but a wish list isn't necessarily something that you'll get. It's just
Yeah.
something that you wish for, like wistfully. She's, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we could live in a cul-de-sac and have a whole bunch of kids and a basketball hoop on the garage? And like, it's a very
Super
cute
true.
song.
But then, like,
Yeah.
by the end of the album, she's like, but that's not what I am. I'm married to the
It's
hustle
not
and I love this.
realistic.
Yeah.
As much as, yeah, it's just not realistic for them. Like, they could afford a whole basketball court in the backyard, but they're never going to be able to live
Yeah.
in a cute little cul-de-sac and like,
No, they'll have to move to a foreign country in a very gated, secure neighborhood. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a very cute song. How do you feel
Yeah.
about Wood?
Okay. So this was also, I really love Us in the sense that we were like, no, it's not a reference. That's definitely a Natalie Wood shout out. I was hopeful. I don't know. That it's hilarious. It sounds really fun. It sounds really
Mhm.
great. And I'm really happy for her. I'm glad that she's happy.
You
Good
know,
for her.
this song initially, I was like, oh, it makes me so uncomfortable. Like, ugh. And then I thought about the fact someone said, oh, I think she's trying to be Sabrina Carpenter. And then I sat there for a minute and I went, would I have as much of an issue with this song if
True.
Sabrina Carpenter released it? And I realized I would be totally fine with it. And then I went, that's on me.
That's
Like,
on me. That is
that
my
is on
own,
me.
yeah, expectations
Yeah.
I'm putting on another artist, and it's weird to hear it from her.
Yes. And I was like,
Sure.
yes, I grew up with her. And it's weird hearing the artist you've been listening to since you were 15 years old talk about something like that. But at the same
So
time,
old
I
of me.
was just like, I would have no problem with it if Sabrina released this song and everyone would be like, wow, that's so iconic. Only Sabrina would talk about this, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, I need to give Taylor a little bit more grace.
That is a great point. I will join you on that. I will say in the movie, they played the clean versions of these songs. I almost think I preferred the clean version for some of them. The clean version of the line was, his love was the key that opened my skies. I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? I almost like this a little bit more slight innuendo there. You could
Yeah.
still make that an innuendo, but it's a little bit less jarring.
Yes.
I don't know.
Definitely.
There's a lot of penis references that
Yeah. Which,
and
oh, tongue in cheek.
yeah, of course. Like, I don't think she thought she was writing the best lyric of all time when she said, "Your magic wand broke my curse."
No.
I don't think she was. I don't think she was taking herself too seriously in that moment. So
But some of the best songs, we all still are singing apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
true. Like you said, if other artists can do it, why
Yeah.
can't Taylor
Why can't
Swift?
she? Just because it makes us all a little bit uncomfortable, we need to get over ourselves.
Yeah, that's fair. I wonder, I'm like, do you think that they've like collectively told their families, like, you don't have to listen to track 10? It's
I
okay.
don't know. Maybe they all think it's hilarious.
They probably do. I know that Jason Kelsey thinks that's hilarious.
It's also funny that she called her ex-boyfriend the smallest man who ever lived and then
Yeah.
turned around and wrote this song,
Oh, also, he didn't measure up to any measure of the
Measure of a
man.
Man.
To then say, you take me to new heights of manhood? Come on.
A
I was,
redwood tree.
yeah, I think that the podcast shout out was maybe a little much for me. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, Taylor, I knew you were going to do it. Like, I knew you were going to say new heights on the album, but I didn't know it was going to be leading in to the reference that it was. And I don't think
Mhm.
I was ready for that. I don't know. I
No.
don't know about that one.
I think we were very unprepared for,
But
but
also we should have known when we
yeah.
saw what the title was. I do think the original concept is fun. Like, I don't have to knock on wood. It's a great fun hook. I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about losing this.
Same
And
with like
I,
all the references to luck and like bad luck and everything with
yeah,
it. Very clever.
Very clever, very fun, actually.
Yeah.
So shout out to Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm again like happy for you, girly. I'm glad this is where you're
It's a
at in your
fun
life.
song. It's a
Hmm.
fun song. Canceled.
How do you feel? You start.
I think it's about Blake Lively.
I agree.
Yeah. I have heard a lot of people say that this is one of their favorites in the second half of the album. I don't know if it doesn't replace the top 3 for me.
Yeah.
It's fun though. It feels a little bit more Reputation-esque. A little bit, yeah. And yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Okay, here's the thing. Sonically, it's great. It's fun. She
Yeah.
did a great job. And I think this is the song though that I've honestly like 3 lines were different. I could do it and I would really enjoy it. I'm also trying to decide how much I love the message in a way.
Yeah.
Not just because I don't want to be like the too woke friend here. I don't mean to be annoying, but it is, I think Taylor Swift has to be a little bit aware, like when she's singing songs as a billionaire and like the people she's surrounding herself of being like, good things I like my friends canceled. And we all have skeletons in our attic. I'm like, who's we?
Yeah.
Who's we? And like this idea of you'll get better at not getting caught. I'm like, I don't
That's
know.
so fair.
But it's a great fun song. Like I said, I love the vibe of it. A couple of the lyrics were just a little bit too cheeky for me.
Yeah.
But I liked hearing her explanation of it in the movie of just being like, I've been where people are and I know what that feels like. And so now I take people just based off of my own experiences with them. And I think that's valid. It
Yeah.
makes sense that in her journey, she says, I don't mind. And now I'm the go-to person that if people have a train wreck of people coming to them, that they call me because they know I've been through that many times.
Mhm.
So I can see it from her perspective. I do think it's about Blake Lively, and I'm actually
Yeah.
glad they're still friends, to be honest.
Yeah. I got I liked the bridge where she
I like
says
the
like,
bridge too.
yeah, they stood by me when everyone else basically turned against me. Like,
Hmm.
why would I turn my back on them? That's essentially the message I think that it sends. And I liked that. I felt like it gave a little bit more depth to the song.
Totally.
But yeah, it is one of those like songs where it's not going to be relatable to us.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, 'cause, oh me, a poor little peasant.
Yeah. And
I
she's
don't
good
have
thing
any
I
cancels
like
in.
my friends being rich, evil villains. And it's okay. I'm glad. There one of my friends that I went to the movie tonight, she was like, I almost wish she said, good thing I like my men canceled. And I'm like, you know what? That could
Oh,
have been an interesting take on it. To be like,
yeah.
yes, I love a man. I'm sorry about it. Like almost a reference to
Yes.
Maddie Healy. That could have been an interesting
That could have
spin
been
on that idea
interesting.
too. Yes, my bad. That was not good, but I like my men
Yeah.
canceled. I'm sorry. I feel like the internet would have eaten her alive for that one though. So
Yeah, they probably would have.
they're eating her alive right now. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Next is Honey, which is actually one, it ranks up there for me. I think
Totally.
this
I
one's
like this one a
so
lot.
cute. I really like it. I think the whole idea behind it of honey being like a condescending term, but then when someone says it with love,
It
it's
reclaims it.
yes. And
Yep.
it's cute and using like sweetheart and lovely and all of that. Like cute, cute song.
Totally. I'm actually now realizing that actually the songs from this album that I love are all the love songs. I think the ones that
Hmm.
feel like almost misses are the ones where she departs from that for a second. So I feel like that's
Yeah,
interesting.
that is interesting. I knew we would get some love songs. I didn't know we were going to get a whole bunch of them either. I don't know what I thought I was getting with
I
this
don't know
album.
either. One thing I was thinking about though, about the love songs on this album and how they differentiate from the other love songs from other albums. I've seen people in the comments being like, bring back Joe. I don't like Travis as her muse. I like
Mm.
this person, that person. But this is the first time we're hearing a love song where it's not also etched with anxiety. Like even from the very beginning with the Reputation songs, there was that immediate fear of losing. With New Year's Day, please don't like ever become a stranger whose laugh I could end up anywhere. Delicate. Oh, this is really delicate, but maybe you like me for me. Like the very, very beginning songs are just so baseline that, and that continues through Lover, as we've
I was like,
discussed.
even
That
Lover
is an
itself.
anxious album that was
Yes.
supposed to be this love album. And obviously I think that trend continues. Like even with Lavender Haze, the opening line of "You don't really read into my melancholia," which by the way, I loved the mirror to Fate
I
of
would have
Ophelia.
drowned in
Yeah, I
melancholy.
would have drowned in melancholy. I thought that
Yep.
was a super fun connection. But my point still stands, like with all of her other muses, sure, maybe there was like a little bit more depth to explore because it wasn't good actually. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
solid ground. But this is the first time I'm hearing love songs where she's just, yeah, that person's obsessed with me. I'm obsessed with them. And the lyrics to me just come across so much more confident. And so, yeah,
Yes.
maybe as a listener, it's harder to relate, but
But
congratulations, Taylor Swift.
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. The three strongest songs on this album, I think, were
Mm-hmm.
the strongest love songs too. And so
Totally.
it's like he's not a bad Muse. It's just a different emotion. Like,
It's just
it's
a
just
different
not a
emotion.
heartbreak. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Yeah.
not love with an asterisk. It doesn't
Hmm.
seem asterisk, whatever that word is.
Yeah. Which maybe that isn't as relatable to everyone, and that sucks. Like that's
Yeah,
awful.
exactly.
Yeah.
I hope that we're all striving for a love that makes us feel like the life of the Showgirl love songs.
Yes, definitely. I know. And to even add a personal note to that, I related to a lot of the lover when
Mm,
I was in a horrible relationship that ended up with me getting divorced. So, if anything, like those should
heard.
not be the peak of
No.
relationships. Love is supposed to be easy. And I think all of
Truly.
those, it was showing how hard it
How
really
hard
was
that
for
love
her.
was. Very true. I think that these songs do feel easy and breezy because
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like her relationship is causing her any problems in her life.
No.
Good for her. That's a great place
Yeah.
to be.
She's just happy. And that's
Yeah.
such a good thing.
Are we already on the last track?
Yeah, Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
What did you think about it?
I liked it. I thought it was
Hmm?
going to be very different. I thought it was going to be really upbeat and catchy, and it wasn't. It was a little bit more of like storyteller
Mm.
vibes, but I really enjoyed it. I think Sabrina has a beautiful harmonization in the
Their
song with
voices sound great
Taylor.
together. Mm.
Really do. I was kind of like, man, they should sing together again. That was really beautiful. But yeah, I liked it. I don't love it as much. Like, I don't think it's the lead single. I think Fate of Ophelia is the lead single,
She
but I
chose
liked
right
it.
with the lead single, for
Yes,
sure.
which is shocking, honestly, because
Shocking. Yeah.
she usually doesn't.
Not historically true. This one she picked right, though.
Yeah, she did.
Track one,
So,
lead single, best song. No, I agree with Life of a Showgirl. It is one that has maybe grown on me the most. When I
mm,
first heard it, I really love the bridge. Honestly, how that song sounds is how I thought the whole album would sound a little bit more,
yeah.
especially with that bridge. Like the tempo builds and she is telling the story. One thing I wanted to bring up is I saw this TikTok from a guy I know in Nashville who's a songwriter, and he was reading the first verse of this song of being like, her name was Kitty, she was witty and pretty, but she didn't get it legitly. And the point he was making is like, what are we doing here? I'm a writer in Nashville. I write songs every day. If I were to bring these lyrics and this verse to a room, like they would laugh at me. Like there's no way that these lyrics would no one would be okay with me releasing this song. They would say they were bad. And at first I like maybe saw his point, but as I was thinking about it, I was, yeah, but maybe that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Like those lyrics work because Taylor Swift is singing them. And yeah, reading lyrics on paper are never going to be right, but I actually think Taylor Swift, the way she sings them and what we know about her storytelling style, I think she sells it. And I
Mhm.
think that the fact that the rhyme scheme for the entire first verse was with the kitty, pretty, witty, legitly, city, whatever words she used, I can't remember them all right now. I think that is actually very impressive. It sets up the story pretty well. Yeah, of course that wouldn't fly in a random Nashville writing room. And that's something that I've thought about a lot when listening just to albums in general. Of if I were to pitch this idea to a room or pitch that lyric to a room, would they be like, no, that's stupid and ridiculous? And oftentimes it feels like the answer is yes, but then those songs are huge and they do very well. And so it's okay,
Yeah.
what can we learn from that?
Then
Why
we're too pretentious.
maybe we're being a little bit too pretentious about this,
Yeah.
and we could take a note or two and also understand that sometimes lyrics is in the performance of it. I think that's something that like Taylor Swift does very well. She can sell
Yeah.
what she's saying. especially when she
Definitely.
performs them live.
No, I agree completely. I didn't think the song had Too Simple of a Rhyme Scheme listening to it. But yeah, when you read it out, I can understand
Like, her name
how it
was
would
Kitty.
initially.
What are you talking about? It feels
Yeah.
silly to read those lyrics, but when she's singing it, it works for me.
I saw someone also write it out with her name was Kitty. She was a showgirl, and then it went into the Coca Cabana song at the Coca Cabana.
Oh my
Even though that
gosh.
showgirl's name was Lola, but like that setup,
That's pretty
it
good.
was yeah,
That's
that
pretty
was
good.
funny to me.
Yeah, that's valid. Okay, so we both just got back from the movie in
Hmm.
different states, but we timed that very well.
I know.
I loved the music video.
Same. This might
It,
be my favorite she's ever done,
yep.
which would be replacing Wildest Dreams. So that's saying
Whoa,
something.
good one. That this is for sure my favorite of the ones she's directed. No,
Hmm.
certainly. Favorite of the
Yes.
ones that she's personally directed. I'm still trying to decide if it like beats Look What You Made Me Do as far as like iconic level.
Yeah.
It's incredible though.
I
It's
love it.
so good.
I watched it and then was so glad that we got to watch it again at the end because I want to just play it on repeat. But
I know.
even like walking out talking with Mo, I was like, I wish that when I explain the podcast, I wish I could just sit down and show people that music video and then be like,
Yes,
this
this.
is it.
Yes.
It was
The
like, this is what we're doing. This is what we're trying to shed light on these women in all of these different eras and how they're the stars, but nobody knows their names. And they're these like
totally.
hidden muses and heroines in every era. And then it turns into the pop stars of the genre. It was perfect.
It
Like,
was
that's exactly
perfect. Way
what we talk about every week.
as the music video was going, and I was like almost being like, and that episode we've done, and that episode we've done, and that. There's so many threads you can pull, and I thought it was such a cool idea. If she's, what are the showgirls across time? Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I think that's actually a TikTok I'm for sure gonna make. Of like,
Yeah.
haha, more than a Muse episodes for every single scene in the Fate of Ophelia music video. It was so cool. And
It was
when they walked through how
amazing.
they filmed it and how they rehearsed for it and the costuming, like, and
Beautiful. The set
I,
styling and it was so good. So good. And the way that it was filmed is like almost all one continuous take.
yep.
Like it was just beautifully done. Amazing work from
What
that
was your
entire team.
favorite scene from it?
Oh, I think I still like the opening with
Yeah, I agree.
Ophelia and then the how the painting like fades away and
Yep.
turns into the scene. I think I love that.
I
And
love it.
then the end, how it
Oh,
goes into the album cover, like back
yes.
all one continuous thing. Like
Yep.
perfect. Those two scenes were
Perfect.
just
I fully agree. I also love that she admitted, because I was almost worried when she didn't talk about it in the podcast originally. I was like, there's no way she's not going to call out the fact that she's referencing this famous painting. So I was very grateful that she did. I'm like, yes, of course, the
yes.
album is referencing the fate of Ophelia here.
And then she
Very
said
fun.
one of my favorite sentences I've ever heard, art history for pop fans.
Art history for pop fans. That's our bio. That's our bio.
Yes. I was like, that's it, you guys. Taylor Swift would love this podcast. Okay.
She would love this podcast. Sorry for anything mean we might have said about the album that you won't like,
Yeah.
but you would love it. Besides that, the other thing I want to, first off, by the way, Stauney saw the movie a little bit before me, so I just, out of context, get an all caps text from Stauney that says art history for pop fans. And I was like, yes, I don't know.
You're like, yes, I agree. But what do you
what are you talking about? And then you're like, no, the movie. Like, oh, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, I was like, you'll see it. I promise. Yeah.
Like, I agree. That's what we're doing. I don't know what we're talking about.
I just loved it so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
I agree. It was so fun to see that music video live on a big screen. And it was a fun idea, honestly, to do a release party in the movie. I think that, like, I wasn't disappointed by not having enough behind the scenes content. I think I was a little bit worried that it was like actually just going to be the lyric videos.
Yeah,
which
same.
That was the bulk of it, because you were listening to the album, but I feel like for what it was and what she sold it as, like, you got to watch the music video, see all the behind the scenes. She introduced every song with a little bit of an explanation. And you got to hear the songs in a good movie theater system. Like, it was fun.
It was fun. I'm
See the
glad it
lyrics.
it wasn't overpriced, which was great. It was
That's the thing. It
just
was
like,
a $13 ticket. That's
yeah.
fine.
So it was fine for what it was, and it genuinely made me like the album a lot more from like
I
hearing a lot
agree.
of the explanations, and yeah, even just seeing the crowd react to certain ones that I was like, "Oh, apparently this is a favorite."
Everybody in the theater was cackling after her very short introduction to the song Wood,
Yep.
and how she's like, it's about superstition and luck. Like, cackling in the
Yep.
audience at
It
that.
was so
Great.
funny. Yeah, I think it was charming. I really enjoyed it.
I agree. I think that Taylor Swift does come across as so likable. And it was funny. Like, my really good friend from home, she was texting me her thoughts on the album. We had very similar thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Next morning, she was like, I'm seeing all of Taylor Swift's interviews. And I just love hearing her talk about the album, and hearing her talk about it and explain it without even actually listening again is making me like it more. Just because
Yeah.
she comes across as so likable in these radio clips to me, and she just seems so excited about it that it's like, all right, sorry, let me go try again. I know you love it. I'm sorry. What have I done wrong? Like, she's just,
Yes.
you can tell she loves this music.
No, genuinely. Like, she does have such a likable quality about her that it
Yeah,
makes it contagious. It's a little bit impossible to ignore. So,
totally.
made
She's
it
very
a
good
lot
at
more
press.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. What have you seen, though, about the responses? Now that we've talked about our thoughts, our feelings,
Yes.
how are other people feeling?
I actively try to avoid album criticism
Good for
because
you.
yes, I just, oh, I hate it. And I think my algorithm knows that. And so even with the Sabrina Carpenter album, I didn't see any of the criticism.
Oh, good for you.
Taylor is a very big artist and a
Hard
lot
to
more
escape.
people have opinions. So the main thing that I've been seeing is reviews from every single publication ever. Like
True.
every single publication that has ever existed decided that they needed to review this album
And they
and did.
haven't loved it.
No, they haven't. I think some of the ones I liked Business Insider, it was the same thing that we said, where it
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, like these were the top songs. There's a little bit of like filler. And then she was like, you could skip some of the other ones. I Some of them were fair. There's a lot of other ones where they're like being a little bit too harsh, in my opinion.
No,
Where
it's
like
they
Taylor
want to
Swift's
not like the album, it
Yes.
seems.
Taylor Swift's Fairy Tale has made her songs fall flat, and like she's gotten everything she ever wanted, and now she can't write good music. And it's just, whoa, can we chill out for a
Boo.
second?
Yeah.
Like, this is extremely critical for an album that honestly is still very good. The
And
songs are
very
good.
new, too. I know critics and reviews come out like the next day always, but it's a knee-jerk reaction is what we're seeing right
Yes.
now.
Very interesting. And it's very different from her past couple of albums that she's done. We haven't had an album like this in a long time. So it makes sense that I think a lot of us are like, oh, like this is a little, it feels new. I'm not used to this right now. But yeah, it's been interesting how harsh some of the critic is, where I'm
Totally.
like, no, she hasn't fallen off. This isn't the end of Taylor Swift. Let's stop being so dramatic. But it's okay to look at it critically and not be obsessed with every single song either. And I
Totally.
feel like it's hard being in that middle ground online right now.
I agree. There was a TikTok that I saw that I can't remember the creator that made it, but I know I liked it and faved it. I'll repost it on our More Than a Muse
Mm-hmm.
account. That I thought she made a really good point about where Taylor Swift is at with her music. Because as someone who is in a happy relationship, I very much reject the idea of being happy means you can't create good art. And that's something we've
Yeah.
talked about a lot on the podcast is
It's a
like,
total myth.
yeah,
Yeah.
this myth of like the starving artist, the tortured artist is how you can create your best work. That's not a healthy thing that we're subscribing to. So we shouldn't perpetuate that narrative. However, the point that they brought up that I thought was really interesting is they called out the lyric in the final Life of a Showgirl track where she says there's all these witches who are on the wall who want me dead, but I'm immortal. Like
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't if I tried. And that is so legit. Like she has gotten to the point with her own status where she is top dog. Like all of the world's resources, all of everything will immediately be given to her because of course they will.
Yeah.
She is the biggest. She's reached the biggest accolades. And what they brought up is the fact that like Taylor Swift isn't hungry anymore. Like, she doesn't have to chase that anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder if maybe that does affect certain things about your own creativity when you're not trying to build something anymore, or you're
Mhm.
not trying to claim anything, or she's done it. She's conquered the
Yeah.
world. And for the last, I think since maybe with Midnight's was like the start of it, like I'm at my top game. We thought Midnight's was going to be her biggest album, and it was. But then with all of the re-releases that worked it so well, and
Yeah.
then with Tortured Poets that was just huge, and the tour, like, she, like, her, anything that she wants from her label's gonna give, she's gonna get everything. She has everything in house with her team because she knows she can do it. Think about the movies, like,
Mhm.
she doesn't have to prove herself at all in any way, and that's a great place for her to be in, probably emotionally. But I think that's an
Yes.
interesting thing, that maybe that's the thing that affects the art, and maybe that's why people feel like newer and up and coming artists create better art. And I don't think that's true either. I think the art you can create now is better with age, theoretically. But
Mhm.
I wonder if that's the spark that can sometimes get missing in people's music or art, is that they lose the, I don't
It's
know. What
it's
do you think about that?
relatability. I think it's
You're right. It's
relatability.
the relatability too, cuz like
Yeah.
it's hard to relate to this album. A billionaire princess.
And yeah, like I don't have diamonds and a private jet, and like it's relatability. And I think that's why we relate a lot more to the starving artist narrative. It's way
True.
easier, even you and I, to put ourselves in the position
Yeah.
of having to starve for your art than to literally have everything handed to you that you could ever want. And
Yeah.
that's not her fault. And I don't think
No.
it like stifles creativity in the same way. I think it just means that it makes it harder for people to relate to it as
Yeah.
easily.
That's
And
true.
I
That's
think that
probably it.
happens with every single celebrity, every
Everyone.
single internet personality. The minute life gets too easy for them, it's no longer relatable for us
Because
anymore.
think about the influencers who quit their day jobs to pursue content
Mm-hmm.
creation, and suddenly their audience is gone because it's like, no, I followed you because you were like me, and congratulations
Yeah.
on your success, but I don't get the same thing from this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's legitimate.
Yeah, it is. And it's an interesting thing that, like, I don't know. I think stars and celebrities probably have to grapple with that. I think Taylor
Yeah.
Swift manages to do it a lot better than a lot of people does just because she's so likable.
And
But
she's been doing
it,
it for so long.
yes. But like, it does come down to the fact that I think like none of us are engaged to a tight end of a Super
Yeah,
Bowl winning team and like
very
living
true.
in multiple house mansions with
Yeah.
our label basically being like, do whatever you
Do
want.
whatever, like, all creative licensing, you're going to get no pushback. I do
Yeah.
wonder though, too, like, of course, Taylor Swift, I've seen people bring this up of she's just surrounded by too many yes men. But, and just by the notion of, if Taylor Swift is in the room and Taylor Swift says she likes that lyric, like, what reasonable human being is going to be like, actually, I don't like that lyric? Like, it's
Yeah.
Taylor Swift. And
Hmm.
so I think for my hopes for like where she could go next, I think it would be so cool for her to attempt to like truly make a true concept record. I think Torture Poets Department was actually maybe the closest thing we've ever gotten as like a true concept
Yeah.
record. But I think to almost find someone that she knows isn't afraid to tell her like no in a writing room, and who knows, maybe that actually is happening all the time, but like,
Yeah. We don't know.
almost,
It could be,
I
but
would maybe think it'd be cool to find something that's like fully dive into actually something totally different that doesn't sound like Taylor Swift almost. And I think that's what's been the most fun of being a Taylor Swift fan over the years, is like when Folklore came out, it was like whole new collaborator that opened up this
hmm
whole new world with her. Like, I think it would be so cool for her to almost like find more obscure niche producers and see what could happen from those type of things,
yeah.
and be willing to change the usual formula and what she thinks people likes from her. I'd be interested to see what that could maybe lead to in the future.
No, I agree. It's like when you have all the power given to you, it's the perfect time to start giving it to people who have no power. Like,
Yeah,
it's
uh-huh.
a great time to turn around and be like, I'm going to use all of this and like work with people who I think have the potential to create something amazing. And
Totally.
yeah.
And like, you're top of your game, like, make something like actually weird, like
Why not?
musically weird, like just
Yeah.
try it. I
Mhm.
think people would actually respond really more to that better if they were like, whoa, that's weird, that doesn't sound like Taylor Swift. I think
Mhm.
I'd be interested to see of what that ever looks like in her career
It
as
would
a
be really
musician.
interesting. Yeah. I would also love a visual album.
Yes,
I know,
because
and
she could do it.
she could do it so well. And I was hoping that if this had been more of a concept album, like I think a visual album would have been incredible with this.
Yeah.
Because it's less of a concept album, I'm hoping for kind of more of a conceptual album in the future where we get a
Yeah.
visual album as well.
I just don't know because I've thought about Beyonce, what she did with Lemonade and what she did with Cowboy Carter, and I just don't know. I don't know yet if Taylor Swift is interested in making an album like that, or I think she likes to keep things so in house and tight knit and be so involved in
Mm-hmm.
it that maybe she just doesn't outsource as much as Beyonce is willing to, and that
It
makes the product
does.
different.
Yeah.
Maybe not better
You,
or worse, but
no, but you can't. I feel like your output is more limited for sure.
yeah, because it's just you and it's just what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing that the fans just love what Taylor Swift does. Like, even with a new Taylor Swift album that I'm not like immediately top five favorite album, I'm happy it's here and I will be
Yeah,
listening on repeat. So
definitely. I haven't
I
turned it
always love
off.
more Taylor Swift. I'm a
Yes.
fan of what she does.
Yeah, I think it's also going to be interesting to see how like reactions change over time, like we've talked about, because I loved Tortured Poets right off the bat. I hated it.
A lot of
I
people did.
loved Midnights right off the bat. A lot of people hated it.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to kind of
It is,
see
yeah. It's
what
the life
happens.
cycle of a Taylor Swift album. I think the only time that universally the whole world was locked in on a Taylor Swift album was with Folklore. That album came
Yeah.
out and everyone immediately loved it and it captured something special. And I think it was just the timing of the release and what the world maybe collectively needed at that moment. And so I think everyone is just been disappointed that it doesn't feel like that same lightning in a bottle
Mm,
moment. But she's Taylor Swift. She's a pop star. Let her
yeah.
be a pop star.
Let her write some pop songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, a lot of people have been saying that they think that this is the last Taylor Swift album. And I want to say, first off, you're ridiculous because
There is
why
no
on
last
earth
Taylor Swift
would
album.
she stop at 12 and not do 13?
My thought on that though, maybe she's planning on actually taking a break for a little while. And the 13th is going to be her comeback album.
I
That
could see.
feels epic. Granted, I think Taylor Swift taking a break is like a normal album cycle.
Yeah.
If we don't get an album from her for 3 years, that's like what it used to take for
Mm.
us to get an album from her. So that would be normal. But I think we might like not get new music from her for a while.
Well, she already has debut recorded.
That's what,
So,
like, she'll feed us that. Like, she'll give us
yeah.
debut, I bet, next year for the 20-year anniversary, just for the fun of it, while she's off, married. I don't know. I'm not
She has
here
a
to
wedding to plan.
perpetuate the thing that, like, once she gets married, she has to immediately have kids and settle down and not work. No, I'm not going to put that on a woman. She's going to be working. I
No.
think she'll do things that maybe aren't music for a second.
She might want to dive more into her directing. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that would be interesting. That would be fun for her to see and to do and see what she accomplishes with that.
True. She got a movie that she's making. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's just, I don't know. I think she's been wanting to get married for a long time and she hasn't let herself say that.
That was the line from Elda Starter that got to me. Like when I said I didn't
Yeah.
believe in marriage, that was a lie. Oh my gosh.
I was like, yeah, you were
Especially
lying for your
with the
stupid
contrast
boyfriend.
of Lavender Haze of I don't want that 1950 they want from me. I don't I'm like, girly,
And then
we
it's
knew
like,
you were
no, she
lying.
did. She
We
would have married you with
knew
paper rings. She was so willing to get married the whole time. And
the
like, it
whole
just,
time.
yeah. And so now that I think a lot of things that people wait for, girls wait for their entire lives, like there's no way around it. That's what we're socially conditioned for a lot of the times is the
And
things like marriage
yeah.
and family and kids. And that's an exciting thing to be able to have on the horizon. No way she's gonna be able to stop writing. She couldn't stop writing when she was on the Eras tour. We got Tortured Poets out of
We got
nowhere.
2 albums while she was touring the world.
COVID led to Folklore and
Yeah.
Evermore. There's just no way that she's ever gonna be able to stop. I don't
No.
think. Like she just loves it too much.
I
So,
agree. She'll
yeah.
never stop, and I'm grateful for it because, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and if Taylor Swift just keeps giving me more just Taylor Swift songs as they currently are, that's fine. I will be well
Yeah.
fed. I enjoy hearing what she has to offer me. But yeah, I feel like the 13th album will be big, but I feel like it's going to be big because it'll be a long time before we get it.
Yeah, I think it'll be a while. And I'm okay with that. Let
Me
her
too.
have her time. Let her do her thing.
We've got great music. I think she's going to have a lot more fun in this era, sitting with this era.
Mm,
I think I saw a clip from a radio interview that said she very immediately said that no, she was not touring this album just
yeah.
because of, for one, she just got off the biggest 2 years of her life that were exhausting. And I think what she said, I don't have the energy to make it as good as that again. I
Hmm.
know I can't top that right now, so I'm not going to go out. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Take a
that too.
break. The Eras tour was
Yeah.
amazing. So glad I went.
Same. So glad I went, even though it like changed halfway through and everyone at the tail end saw a completely different era
I would have
store than
loved
I
to see the
did.
Tortured Poets set live.
Same.
R.I.P.
Yeah, just how it happened. She grew and developed halfway through and it changed with
A
her.
lot
But
happened.
yep.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see what she does with this era. I saw another little clip too where she like people said, "What do you have plans for this era?" And she was like, "I don't know. We're just getting started. Like, hopefully I can make more music videos. Hopefully I can do this." So I think we're actually gonna hang out in Showgirl land for a while. And I also really loved what she said in another clip where she talked about the fact that with all of her other album releases, that from the time that she was making it to when it's actually time to release it, she's in totally different stages of her life. And so there's been a
Mm,
little bit of a weird disconnect with it. Like with Tortured Poets, from when it
yeah.
came out, or when she was writing it, from when it came out, it went from heartbreak to now she's dating Travis when it comes out.
Yeah.
And she acknowledged the fact that this was the first time that the music that she made is exactly like she's in the exact same place. And I think that's a very beautiful thing. And I think
It's
that
so
makes
nice.
sense for her as an artist to be like, cool. Like we've almost like reached homeostasis. Take
Mhm.
a break here for a while. Let's see what
And
happens while I take a break.
I'd be thrilled with more music videos. I think that would be
Yes.
awesome.
This album could lend itself to such great music videos.
Oh, yeah, the visuals are stunning. Even though I don't necessarily see the connection as much as I thought I would, they're
Yeah.
beautiful. So I'm
Yes.
totally here for that. I think it'll be a very surprising rest of the year
I
with
agree.
where this goes.
And with after we're recording this all weekend long, I know she's doing different late night talk shows that I'm excited to
Hmm.
watch. For Saturday night, there's also a thing that says stand by. So I'm wondering if something's
Yeah.
happening tomorrow
What
night.
are we going to get?
What are
Very
we going to get?
interesting. I know
Yeah,
there's been a lot of hidden codes and messages in the albums that people are getting from Target too or acts, and I don't know what that means either.
I don't
If Fate of
either.
Ophelia maybe is act one and she for certain is doing three more music videos, maybe,
Could be
or
fun.
yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where it leads.
Last question. If you were to pick one song on the album to get another music video for, which one would you want to see?
I think Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
I just
of
think,
course.
yeah, she could do some incredible stuff with that, and it was so good. And bring back the brown wig from Wildest Dreams.
The thing that this Fate of Ophelia music video proved is she looks great in every hair color.
Yep, uh huh, definitely. So
Yeah,
that would be fun to see for sure.
I agree.
Would love that.
To to I also think Father Figure.
Oh yeah, that would be a fun
Loved,
one.
and we didn't really dive into that song, but like that song being such a cool power play about like Scar Bruschetta. Great song.
Hmm.
Great work.
I heard a theory that it was about Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, I've seen people talking about that too, of like her talking about her Tay daughters, as people refer to her.
Yes, interesting.
Very
So
interesting.
yeah, I'm sure lots more fan theories and everything will be coming out.
We are 24 hours into this.
I know. It is
So,
crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, where do you think this ranks for you album wise so far?
good question. I agree. I don't think it's beating my top five because, like, my current top five, I would say, is Reputation, Folklore, Red. Those three are like no particular order, but that's my
Mm,
trinity of Taylor Swift albums.
yeah.
Maybe after that is like Fearless in 1989. I love the Fearless
Okay.
album actually. In my bottom half is like the debut album. I like it more than the debut album.
Yeah.
Obvious. I don't want to say obviously. I know people
Mhm.
love that album, but I don't listen to those songs ever. I think I maybe like it more than Lover. And Lover is at the bottom. So I would say ranked right now, I could find it healthily sitting at 8,
Okay, perfect.
7 or 8. Like I
Yeah.
don't think it's breaking my top 5 yet, but it's not my least favorite.
Yeah, it's definitely not my least favorite either. I
Yeah.
also don't think it's hitting my top 5 though.
The
Yeah.
one thing when I first listened to it, I was like, man, usually when I listen to a new Taylor Swift album, I feel like I'm immediately getting a new favorite Taylor Swift song that just speaks to me and resonates with me. And this time I was like, oh, maybe I didn't get that. But the more I listen, the more I'm like, no, I think Fate of Ophelia, Elizabeth Taylor, and Wishlist,
Yeah.
they're getting up in my overall Taylor Swift rankings.
I agree. I really love Opalite and
Oh, Opalite's so
Honey.
cute. Oh,
Yeah, I love Honey a lot.
Honey's sweet.
That one's
The
cute.
love song, she did great. I like Travis as a Muse.
I do
I
too.
think they
I think
worked
it's
so nice.
cute. They're so
Yeah.
happy. And oh, that was another thing I was going to talk about when she was able to toss the football in the scene and just have it be such a casual little thing. And
Casual little nod. Yep.
like, how nice is it that she gets to have these little casual moments and not worry that her significant other is going to be pissed that she's referencing him?
Oh,
Like,
what song
it's
was it?
so
Fate of
great.
Ophelia of being like the lights burned out all my past loves, but you blossom
Mhm.
in them.
Yes.
What a freeing feeling to be like, yeah, they
Yeah.
couldn't take the heat, but you
You
thrive in
handle
it.
it just fine. You're cool
And
with this.
thank you for that, actually.
Yeah, I think that shows just how much like Travis and her actually are compatible, and maybe in another lifetime they wouldn't be at all, but like in the
Totally.
one that they've landed
In the one
they
where they are
fit.
both very famous people,
Yeah.
great combination.
They fit so well together, and it's what a beautiful thing. No one
Yeah.
love, and she's so happy, and that's so
Truly.
great.
That's the one thing I said for sure after my first listen was like, oh, this girl loves Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
this, she rides for that man.
Yeah.
So
And
good for
good.
her.
He
Yeah, as you
deserves that.
should for your
She
future
deserves
husband.
that. Like they deserve it so much. Like why wouldn't you want your favorite artist to be completely in love?
True.
Yeah.
Great point to end on. I think we could probably go for another 2 hours. We can, because the way we keep like wrapping it up. And actually, one more thing.
One more thing. Yeah.
There's so much. Yep. Awesome. Anyone who's listening, we would love to know your favorites. Do you disagree with us? I had a couple of group chats that I was in that in the first like couple songs I was very active in. And then I was like, okay, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. Let me process my feelings here. So this is a safe place to disagree.
Mhm.
Hopefully we didn't yuck your yum if you love it. And also like people do, like if this is their new favorite Taylor Swift album, I want to know why.
Yeah. I really want to know why.
Like
Like I would love to know that. I think it's so cool that we get to have so many different genres from one artist. You know how she talks about the pens, like the glitter, the quill pen and everything. This is so glitter pen coated, and I love that people are getting that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Excited. Next week we get to dive into our annual very on theme Halloween episodes. We're gonna do a whole month of spooky themes. So wrapping up our Showgirl September, and come back and join that because you'll be surprised how feminist you can make Halloween. It's the easiest month to plan content for every year.
So easy, you guys. Created by women. It is for women. Like, and we are talking all about witches this month, which I'm very excited about. So definitely return, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.